Hi, I'm Thomas the Hermit, and this is my YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook group called the Humble Holy Laity and another YouTube channel called the Humble Holy Laity, where I talk a lot about prayer, but I also talk about things that are of concern to me in the Catholic Church. And today I'm talking about peace, presence, and holiness. I'm talking about three things or three experiences or three feelings that we experience when we are in the presence of God. Okay? Typical experiences in prayer, but also in worship, or at other times when God is present. Now, those three things are a profound peace, number one, a sense of God's presence, and the third one is the sense of holiness. Now, I'm going to cover each one of those as my experience has been. Now, the first one, peace, is talked about when Jesus says, I will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. He also says, my peace I give you, my peace I leave you. When he entered the upper room, he said, peace be with you. Okay? So an attribute or effect or quality of God being present is a profound peace. Now, to the degree of that peace can be different. I experience greater sense of peace at times than in other times, but peace is a great indicator that God is present. Now, the second one that I want to talk about is presence, okay? We talk about being in God's presence. Now, being in God's presence is a particular experience. When God is there, you have a feeling that you're in God's presence. Now, this can happen when you're worshiping, when you're at a prayer meeting, when you're at Mass. It can also happen when you sit down and focus upon Jesus' Sacred Heart, or you sit down in front of the Blessed Sacrament. In fact, if you were to think about it, one of the most powerful aspects of sitting in front of the Blessed Sacrament is an experience of peace. That's an indicator that God is present. Of course, I'm not trying to play around with you here, okay, because we're talking about emotions, we're talking about our response to God, not so much the theological. Of course, God is present in the Blessed Sacrament. I'm not arguing that He's not. I'm teaching you how to become aware of the different effects that God is creating so that you will deepen and reach out and understand that you are indeed interacting with God. Now, the third thing is holiness. Now, holiness is a quality that only God can possess. We talked about presence, we talked about peace, but holiness is something that only God has. Now, when we say that someone is a holy man or a holy woman, what we're basically saying is that they are radiating the holiness of God. You walk into a dark church, it's quiet, it's prayerful, you see the little red candle lit by the Blessed Sacrament, you kind of feel you're in God's presence, it's peaceful, but you also experience, oh, God is so holy. Lord, you are so holy. Now, I'm not saying I know what that means. It's an experience that we have when God is present. God is holy. Of course, that's written all throughout the Scriptures. I'm not going to try to define what that is. It is a particular mystical aspect of the nature of God. Now, that holiness, that experience of holiness, is a very common experience in contemplative prayer. Now, I'm talking about these three effects or occurrences or experiences, it doesn't matter how you look at them, as indicators that God is truly present. That is peace, presence, and holiness. So, when you are praying, when you are seeking God, when you are waiting upon the Lord, as I pointed out in the last video, and you begin to experience peace, presence, or holiness, indeed, you're beginning to discover the pearl of great price. Well, where am I sitting? Well, you see this great big wall right here? This wall right here is the outside perimeter of San Jose Mission. Now, they built churches when they built these missions, but they also built surrounding walls. Now, of course, why did they do that? Because they were in the middle of a foreign land. They were in the middle of a hostile territory. So they actually had to defend themselves in these walls from, believe it or not, the Apache, who came down with horses, light cavalry, and they were attacking the people of this area. And the people came into the mission and were brought into the Catholic Church right here at this mission. And this was under the Spanish. This was when the Spanish were in control of Texas. Okay, so this experiences, these three things of prayer, when have you felt them? When have you experienced them? When do you experience them? I'd like you to put comments below and share with others how you experience God's peace, His presence, or His holiness. This is Thomas the Hermit. Say a prayer for me. I am praying for you. And pray for one another for the fortress of prayer. Here's kind of a fortress right here. This is the wall of a fortress. You know, they must have had some Indians attack them at this place, Apaches nonetheless, and that is probably historical fact. And the people inside were protected inside the fortress of prayer. From San Jose, I want everyone to have a very blessed day today.